What's going on, guys? It's me, Linsay with LindsayMoore.com, and in this video I want to share with you all about Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and how it made me a six-figure earner in the online marketing space. So for those who haven't really heard a lot about my story, and I'm not going to spend hours talking about my story, but I started with my online business in 2013. Just to give you guys a short version. 2013, that year, I was still working a 9-to-5 job. I was building an online business part-time. I had some success. I was finally getting a lot of sales in my business, but it wasn't that much for me to actually quit my job, throw in the towel, and and work from home full-time. Now, I had the opportunity to go to an event in Dubai for about a week. After that experience, I came back. I put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and within 6 months, I was able to leave my job, my corporate job, and work full-time from home since June of 2014. And I'm totally grateful for that, okay? And let you guys know that year, 2014, was a banging year. Like, I had some failures that year as well, but I still had a banging year. I had my first $10,000 month during 2014, and things were definitely looking up when it came to my online business. Now, a major setback happened to me after 2014. So right at the end of 2014, I started to build a business online. I started promoting another company. I started having success with it. And like for a solid 2 months, I was just crushing that business. And I was putting out content, doing everything. And then I got a devastating blow. My mother had passed away in the early part of 2015 in February. Now, I think like with most people, some people are like in denial pretty much. So even after her passing, I caught myself trying to come back online to do some work, right? I was still trying to do some videos. I was attending webinars. I was trying to promote, but I wasn't into it 110%. I really wasn't. And eventually it got to me to the point where I stopped showing up pretty much. I kind of became like a hermit and, kind of just stayed in my room, slept days on end, barely got dressed. I was really going through, I was going through my little depression pretty much because, I lost somebody who was very, very important to my life, my mother, and I love her. And anyways, so like 2015 was definitely a rough year. But I knew that I had to get back to work. I knew I had to come back online because this is something that I love to do. I really love everything that I do. I love helping people. I love, showing people how to make money online. It's just in my nature. I love it. And but when I came back online, it was hard for me to gain that momentum that I needed or that momentum that I had prior because, like I said, for months I became a hermit and I was really depressed all the time, right? So what I did was I finally got access to this book. I finally went to the bookstore and read this book. Not read this book, but I found this book, and then on the front of it, it says, this book could be worth $1 million to you, okay? And at that time, I was watching a lot of Grant Cardone, and Grant Cardone was saying how he doesn't buy books, because of all the content. He buys books to find that $1 million, that one idea that's going to make him $1 million. So it was real crazy when I saw this on the title of the book. But anyway, I read this book, okay? I read this book, and Napoleon gives you instructions inside of this book on things that you need to do in order for this to make you money. This book right here, guys, okay? So that's what I did. Immediately after I read that book, I think I went through this entire book with like in a day and a half, and I immediately started to implement everything that he said inside of this book. And literally, guys, 2 days later, I made $2,000. Now, how I made those $2,000 was because earlier that year I had I created two sales funnels. Was it two? Or maybe one. I think it was like one sales funnel I had created about video marketing and a coaching program that I had attached to it. And I did a video on it, but I never ran traffic to it. I never ran any traffic to it. Nobody even really knew about it because that was right around the time, right before my mother had passed. So I didn't run any type of traffic to it. So nobody really knew about this coaching program that was just for video marketing and YouTube marketing. And 2 days later, after I read this book and implemented what Napoleon says inside of this book, somebody went through that funnel and bought everything inside of that funnel, and then also bought personal coaching from me as well. So that's how I earned $2,000 from this product. And then also, from this book. And then also, like I said, guys, I was a hermit. I was a hermit that year. I barely left my house. And it was an event that was happening in Miami. Now, Miami is only about 5 hours away from me. And I was on the fence about going. I didn't really want to go anywhere. I didn't want to interact or network with people or anything like that. And it was a 2-day event down there. And I didn't go the first day, but last minute, I went ahead, I booked a room, and I went down there for the second day. Now, the second day I was at that event, I learned a lot of information from all the trainings and whatever else. And, it felt good to kind of connect with people and whatever else. But right at the end of the event, the person hosting the event asked me, it was like, hey, Linsay, have you heard about this program that you can earn $100 to $300 per day on automation? And I was like, no, like, what's the name of it? He was like, it's called Shopify. And I was like, well, shoot, tell me all about it. So a few weeks after that event, I wasn't getting a lot of information. And then just out the blue, somebody reached out to me and was like, hey, Linsay, you heard about Shopify? I was like, well, yeah, somebody told me about Shopify and I haven't gotten the information. So what's up? He was like, well, I can show you how to make money with Shopify. He ended up being my mentor. If some of you guys have followed this, my videos, and I share this story. But September 1st was my first day. I launched my store for Shopify. I got my first sale 3 days later. 30 days after that, I had earned 10.3K in revenue. 30 days after that. And then 30 days after that, it went up to 30,000 and so on and so on. And I actually earned well over 6 figures with my first e-commerce store. My first e-commerce store, guys. So think about it. All this is because I read this book. It gave me the great, like, the mindset, the positive mindset that I needed in order to make things happen, because like they say, thoughts become things, and you are what you think about all day long. So before, I was just, like I said, I was being depressed. I was just thinking about, being sad about my mom. That was always on my brain. And that's why I was stuck in my bedroom for days on end, being a hermit and separating myself from the world. Now, when I read this book and now I'm sitting here talking about, having my business on my mind, increasing my income on my mind. And I'm saying this to myself every single day. And that's what Napoleon tells you guys. He's going to give you instructions in here, and you have to apply these things every single day. You have to apply these steps every single day. And because I was doing that, that was always on the forefront of my mind. How can I increase my income? How can I become a better, person with my business? How can I make more money? That's what was always on my mind. And ever since that happens, and I started to, have a positive mindset, just like you have to keep a positive mindset, have faith, create desire, all the things he's going to tell you about in this book. I started to have all those things on level 10. And because of that, I was being put in situations that was allowing me to increase my income. So like I said, guys, 2014, I had a wonderful year, but I still wasn't a six-figure earner. I still wasn't a six-figure earner in 2014. All that happened in 2015 when I read this book. I started applying this information, and now, like I said, I had, became a six-figure earner with my Shopify store. Also, I was able to increase my prices for my private coaching. So, I was charging, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 for my private coaching. And it's just afforded me so many opportunities because I read this book. And honestly, guys, I attribute my success to this book because it gave me the roadmap. It gave me the clarity on the type of mindset that I need to have in order to think and grow rich, guys. So as much as some of you might think that this book is cliche, it's the reason why it's cliche. It's the reason why you see people like Steve Harvey and all types of people like this talk about this book. Why you see 6 and 7 figure, 8 figure, 9 figure earners talk about this book, because it works. It works. So if you're this type of person who's watching this right now and you're struggling because you want to make 6 figures, or you just want to make more money in your business and you're just trying to figure out why you're not able to make that money, trust me, it's all about mindset. It's all about mindset, because either you don't have full faith in what you're doing. You're not being positive every single day. You're not thinking positively every single day. And somewhere in your subconscious mind, you feel like whatever you're doing online is not going to work. And now that is, basically counteracting with, what you're saying to the world. You're telling people, yes, I want to be a 6-figure earner. I want to take over the world. I want to have a successful business. But in the back of your mind, you're just like, well, I don't really think this is going to work. And by you doing that, that is what's keeping you from having everything that you want. So I promise you guys, get this book. If you have not gotten this book, get this book. If you have this book and you haven't earned money, that means because you didn't either read it or you didn't apply the information in here. Napoleon gives you several steps inside of this book that you need to do every single day. So do it every single day and make those sacrifices. Cut off the TV, cut off Facebook, really, right? Only be on Facebook when you need to post something or whatever else. But don't spend extra time on Facebook if you don't have to. And solely focus on getting your mind right. Do this for the next 30 days, guys. Do this for the next 30 days. Read this book. Do what Napoleon tells you to do in the next 30 days and see what happens to your business, to your income, and whatever else. Do that. This book, like I said, I swear by this book. This is like, I don't know how many, I've bought this book like a couple of times. It's got all the scribbles and it's highlighted all through this book because I swear by this book. I still read this book to this day. That's the reason why it's actually on my desk, because I'm actually reading it now for the umpteenth time, guys, okay? I swear by this book. It has made me a six-figure earner in the internet marketing space, guys. So below this video, I'm going to put a link to Amazon where you can go ahead and purchase this book, guys, if you don't have it. Get this book, guys, and start to change your mind and start to change your income today, guys. And until the next one, peace.